Hi, Bob with Million Mile Garage. If your 2002 Nissan Maxima is not going anywhere when you push down on the throttle, I had this problem this week. Chances are you got a P0221 error code. That's what we got on our code reader, and I'll show you what we had to do. We had to replace one of these. The pedal assembly only has two fasteners, and they're shown here. It's probably easier to remove the connector first before unbolting the assembly.
I think I dropped the top bolt that's keeping the bottom one from coming out or something. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. All right. There she goes. Here, I'll grab it. Okay. Need a hand getting out?
I'm just grabbing the bolts.
All right. And that's a Standard Motor Products APS161. Unfortunately, they won't sell you just the sensor. They make you buy the whole thing. I don't know why. Let's take a look at what we got here. All right. Well, that's just wrapped around there, isn't it? Yeah. All right. Side by side, can you tell which one's the new one and which one's the old one? I know I can't unless I go down here. I can tell that's dirty, so that's the old one. We're just looking at the potentiometer on that side and then on that one. And tell you what, other than the writing on the side, you couldn't tell one from the other. I mean, they look really identical. The weld on this one looks a little cruddier than the factory one, but other than that, I'd say they're dead on. So Austin's going to get that one back in the car, and that's where our connector goes. And just pointing out, I think when I released it, I think the release on the connector is on that side. You just have to pinch it right there and pull it out. It comes right out. All right, he's going to stuff that in there, and then we'll get it all connected up and see how she does. I do have the shop manual on CD. I had to take notes. Looks like FE2 is where you remove the accelerator and replace, and then EC71 is the relearn portion of it. And of course, the remove part is pretty easy. So I'm just showing you the instructions here, the part I really don't know. And I guess it says accelerator pedal release position learning is an operation to learn the fully released position of the accelerator pedal by monitoring the accelerator pedal position sensor output signal. It must be performed each time harness connector of accelerator pedal position sensor or ECM is disconnected. And basically it says turn the ignition switch on and wait 2 seconds, turn it off, wait 10 seconds, and repeat. And it's called throttle valve close position learning. It says description, throttle valve close position learning is an operation to learn the fully closed position of the throttle valve by monitoring the throttle position sensor output signal. It must be performed each time harness connector of electric throttle control actuator or ECM is disconnected. Okay. And then it shows operation procedure, turn ignition switch on, turn ignition switch off, wait at least 10 seconds. Make sure that throttle valve moves during above 10 seconds by confirming the operating sound. Okay, I'm guessing that when you turn it off, you have to go back under the hood and actually listen. I didn't know it did that, but okay, sure, we'll do that. All right, we're just gonna do on 2 seconds, off 10. So I'm just gonna time it. Still gonna time it, there we go. All right, and then off 10 seconds. Just looking at my watch. Looks like about 10 seconds. Do it again. Okay, turn it off. We'll sweep that for 10 seconds. Okay, it's been off 10 seconds. Now it says turn it on again for 2. Okay, and then turn it off, and you're supposed to be able to hear the motor go back. I didn't get a chance to hear it. Tell you what, I'll have Austin just flip it on for 2 seconds and then shut it off. We'll see if we can hear it. Yep, I can feel it. How about that? I can feel it and hear it. All right. I guess the real test will be if we can see if we can still drive it. I think we'll get Austin to clear the codes before we attempt to drive it. That way we'll see if it throws any more check engine lights, because it was lit up like Christmas this week when it did it. All right, just gonna go in. I'm gonna read the codes. It's probably gonna come up with that P0220 again. Yep, go to codes. Yep, there's our throttle pedal position center P0221. Yep, and then just go in and go back and erase the code. Erase done. Okay, now we'll attempt to drive it, or start it up at least. Go ahead and start it, see if it throws a check engine light. Lighting's not the best here, but it's not throwing any codes. Okay, I think we fixed it. Cool. Flip the throttle one time. Okay, it's working. We'll take it out for a test drive. Okay, we made it to Walmart, and we're still not having any check engine codes or anything. It seems to be driving great. Austin's just gonna put it in gear. We're gonna power out of the parking lot. It's starting to do this weird thing where it would kind of like hesitate when you give it the gas sometimes. More noticeable cold than warm, but it was getting to where it was doing it all the time. The tune-up didn't fix that problem, so I guess maybe that's what it was. So kind of cool. So long, Walmart. All right, we'll cut it off here and we'll pick it back up on the way home, where we can run a little power through it. All right, it's always fun merging on here. All right, it just powers right up. I think we'll move out. Feels like it's running good. Whipped right up to $5,000. And just while we're sitting here idling, I don't know if y'all can hear it or not, there's just like a little bit of resonance. I had somebody ask me about that a while back. He had changed out his electric motor mounts, and he still had resonance. And I've changed out my front electric motor mount, I think about 2 years ago. And I still get a little bit of resonance. Some people describe it as noise, which it kind of is. It's NVH, right? Noise, vibration, and harshness. And maybe has something to do with the fact that they're aftermarket motor mounts and not, Nissan grade. Because they basically work. They have electric motor mounts. They have a stiffener in them of some kind of viscous fluid, and it actually runs a current through it to stiffen it and de-stiffen it, depending on the conditions. And sometimes maybe the viscous fluid is either too stiff or the rubber's too stiff, and then you get a little more vibration probably than the factory mount would have given. But it doesn't really hurt anything. It's just maybe a little aggravating. But the car seems to be running great. Again, it's not throwing any check engine codes. Once it gets in a spot, you can give it a little pedal. Pulling up a hill, see how it does. Yeah, it pulls right up. $6,000, no problem. It's running good. All right, I think we're fixed. Cool.